of this episode from the Money Goddess podcast. You guys, your response to the first half was incredible. Like, I was not expecting you all to really dig deep and even want to glow up, for over the next 90 days, especially during this winter arc. So, if you are not familiar, the winter arc is where we are taking the time to go within and really work on ourselves while we are in this season. And we're basically trying to propel ourselves forward in quantum leap prior to having to go into the new year. I think that it's important to have a winter arc because it allows you to really focus on yourself and focus on what you really desire to achieve in 2025, as opposed to waiting until the new year to do anything at all. So if you haven't listened to the first part of this episode, I recommend you go back and listen in because it is going to change your life. This second half is going to give you more tips and an understanding of how to use this winter arc to really get the glow up that you are desiring. So, I have shared, the results that I've been getting, and I'm starting to see more. Like, even today, as a part of my glow up, I'm actually in the running for a new position. Like, I am reinventing myself during this journey. And if I would not have taken the time to get prepared for 2025 starting October 1, I don't think I would be where I am today, where I can receive these types of blessings. And I think a lot of people don't understand that it takes preparation to get to where you want to be. I'm actually reading a devotional with some girlfriends, and it is on Joseph. And Joseph has always been one of my favorite people in the Bible. And oh my gosh, you all would not believe like what we have learned. And the biggest thing is that in the waiting process for your glow up, you are going to have to get prepared. Now, I know I'm talking to you about glowing up in 90 days, but it could take less time or it could take more time. But it doesn't matter about the timeline, it's about the intention and the preparation that you are putting in to get the results that you desire to have. And so, I want you all to be prepared for this glow up. Don't just go into 2025 not being a better version of yourself than you were in 2024, because there are more blessings that are assigned to you in 2025. There is so much more out there, and you want to give yourself that chance to really blossom, to really move forward in your life. So, for those of you who are tuning in live, comment down below, what are you working on in your winter arc? How are you glowing up? If there are questions that you have, you're more than welcome to ask. I'm here to be of service to you all. That's why I love doing these live, and I think it's just going to make a huge difference. Comment below, what are you focusing on for your winter arc? Questions you have, I am here. So while you guys are typing in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing some of my tips. So, I do want to go back and touch on something that I shared that I think is golden. Hello, hello. And that is, I talked about subliminal affirmations in the first part of this podcast episode. And I want to reiterate, subliminal affirmations are life changing. If you are not listening to subliminals on a daily basis, I encourage you to, because what you have to understand is our brains are not wired for success. When you go out and look back in history, you will find that our brains are like in survival mode. Our brains were not made to thrive. So that's why it's important for you to program your mind with those subliminal affirmations. And I did share that you can go and find my journal, shesworthy.org/journal. And I have all of these steps listed out in a digital workbook for you. It can really help you, but I'm still going to give you those good tips because, look, I give freely. I love this work and I know that it can change your life like it has changed mine. So, with those subliminals, again, just to recap, you want to create your own by understanding what your limiting beliefs are and how you can debunk those, and then creating positive affirmations to affirm to you the new reality that you would like to create. So, an example of that is if you are wanting to maybe save $1,000 during this winter arc, but you don't believe that's possible because I don't have the extra money, there are more bills coming in. Those are your limiting beliefs. And so you want to debunk those and say, you know what? God can send me a windfall of $1,000. I could get extra work. I could pick up an additional shift. I could start a business, right? You're debunking those beliefs. And then create positive affirmations such as, I am favored by God and I can create any reality that I would like with money. I am abundant. Money chases me down. Listen to affirmations like those every day in the background of your life. And in the first part, I mentioned habit stacking. And habit stacking can help you while you are looking to maybe start your day. You can listen to those affirmations. Program, program, program. I'm in the US. Thank you for asking. Program your subconscious mind. If you are not programming your subconscious mind, you are not getting the full results of this glow up. You have to get your brain ready. A lot of people rely solely on glowing up and they want to change their external, not realizing that your internal has to prepare for this. It will dysregulate your nervous system if you are not ready. Okay? You have to prepare yourself. Even as I am going into a new season with a new role that I'm going to have, I am literally like, once I knew I was in the running for this, I made some affirmations and I'm listening to them every morning to get myself prepared. I went out driving to see how far I would have to go every morning. I wrote out my morning routine so that I can be prepared for this next step. I encourage you to do the same. That is going to transform your life. Okay, so let's talk about as we are moving into our 90-day glow up. I want to share some things because I think a lot of people, especially in this online era of feminine energy versus masculine energy, I don't think people understand how they work hand in hand to help you have a glow up. I think some people are so focused on, oh, I shouldn't be doing anything. I should be really flowy. Or some people are burnt out in toxic masculinity where they are overdoing it. So I want you to have a balance during your winter arc. This shouldn't be something that you cannot sustain. Your winter arc is, again, preparing you for 2025. It is not something that you are just throwing and thrusting yourself into because you're trying to get these quick results. Okay? This new season that we are entering is not about quick results. It is about longevity. It's about sustainability. Hello, Liz. Thank you. You want to sustain your results. So during this time, you want to create lifestyle changes. Share that in the chat. If you are committed to lifestyle changes, let me know. Because when you commit to lifestyle changes, you are going to see the greatest results. These 90 days are just to get you in momentum, but we want you to move forward on that momentum. No longer are we trying to manifest things overnight, manifest things in an hour. We are creating sustainable results that we can reproduce over and over and over. If you were anything like me, you were tired of trying to force things to happen. You were tired of building this huge pressure of getting certain results. And you're like, look, I'm tired of this. I want my results on autopilot. If you're with me, do you want results on autopilot? Do you want to just get everything naturally and not feel overwhelmed? Then keep listening, because this is what it's going to take, balancing your masculine and feminine energies. So let's talk a little bit deeper. So, masculine energy in itself, I want to be clear, is not a bad thing. A lot of people have given masculinity this terrible rep, or probably over the last maybe 4 or 5 years. They have said things online in regards to, especially with women, like, oh, you shouldn't be, committed. You shouldn't be as disciplined. You should go with the flow, do all of these things. Listen, you have to have both masculine and feminine energy. What I have learned is that when people depart from that masculine energy, you are taking away your shield. Masculinity, the divine masculinity, not toxic masculinity, okay? Divine masculinity is all about getting in a protective shield. If you cannot get into that protective shield, then you are not going to get the results that you would like to see. You have to create that. The reason why I am thriving the way that I am today is because I have a masculine shield around me. That allows you to relax into your feminine energy. So what do I mean by this masculine shield? So let's say your goal, as I mentioned, is maybe to make or save $1,000 within your winter arc. So that masculine shield is going to make you be committed, right? Committed to what you are doing on a daily basis. That means you're getting up at a certain time. You have a routine. You're listening to your affirmations. All right? Even if your goal is to the fitness journey, right? Because that has been my winter arc focus. So that means you're going and you're doing your workouts. You're eating your high protein meals. That is the masculine shield. That is the discipline. That is the structure that you are creating around your goal, right? But the feminine part of that is, well, number one, we do have to rest, right? Number two, we're not overwhelming ourselves. Number three, maybe we do kind of go with the flow a little bit with certain things, and we bring joy into our lives. We're not focused on, I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this. No, we are really taking our time to propel ourselves forward. So understand, if you're going to glow up, you are going to have to give yourself a shield. You cannot just say, oh, I'm going to do XYZ and never commit, never be disciplined. That is a masculine structure that will propel you forward. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and just be so militant that you don't enjoy your life, but you have to have that masculine shield there. Now, the masculine shield is that protective layer, but it's also the realistic part. So, for example, there are some times where you may see a lot of people online that are telling you, okay, you know, you need to up your goals, right? Cool, that sounds good, but if you don't have the masculine shield and that structure and the realism, you're probably not going to reach those goals. It may be too much right now. That masculine shield is realistic where you are, and they want that energy wants you to not put so much pressure on yourself, but actually make something achievable. Okay, your 90 days, you may not, if you're only making 50K, you may not be able to double to 100K within the 90 days. That may not be doable or sustainable, but maybe you can increase maybe by 5,000, right? You're taking those incremental steps. And what I have learned is that when you are in and using that protective shield of masculinity, it allows you to do things in a decent and orderly way. And you are going to be able to see the long term. You are going to be able to sustain this. And this will be a lifestyle change where you can actually move forward. Okay. So I do want to share too. Feminine energy is not this terrible thing that is just airy fairy, right? Because I think that's what a lot of people put online, is that the airy fairy way of life is what feminine energy is. So let me pause there because I want to answer the question. Okay, so how can you improve? Like, okay, I see what you're saying. So if you were in your winter arc, but maybe you made, some mistakes, you want to get back on track. What I would do first is get my journal out and look to see, how did I get off track? What happened? Were my goals too high for me and I didn't feel like I could meet them? Was I not focused? Did I make too many goals? If you go back to the first part, you can find it on my YouTube channel as well. For the first part, I mentioned only focusing on one thing during your winter arc, not several. Because when you're focused on more than one thing, you are not going to be able to really quantum leap in that area because you are spread so thin. So only focus on one thing. Then create those habits, right? At least 3 habits that you can do every day and commit to that, right? So if you know, again, maybe you want to lose 5 pounds during your winter arc, cool. 3 things you can do to do that: diet, exercise, and maybe you have supplements. Boom, you're doing that every day. That is going to get you the best results as opposed to trying to do everything. Okay. So also, don't be disappointed in yourself and don't be so hard on yourself. I want to be clear and transparent. Change does not happen overnight. It is something that comes over time. But we are using this winter arc to propel us forward so we can already have that rhythm and routine into 2025. So that's how you kind of pick yourself up and also forgive yourself, because we've all started things and failed. Like, it's not uncommon, right? Give yourself grace, but let yourself know, I can do this. And I can do it by taking my time and being realistic and moving forward. So I want to go back into that feminine energy, and I want to be clear. Having feminine energy makes your glow up sustainable, right? While you are committed and you have your practices and you have your discipline of things that you are doing on a daily basis, when you infuse feminine energy, you are going to have a glow up that's going to make you happy and it's going to bring joy to you, because that's what the feminine does. So the way to do this, number one, is you will have that intuition. So on your glow up journey, when you are infusing feminine energy, your intuition is going to be on 10. This is where you can quantum leap, because when you have that feminine energy and you're able to read into things, you are able to open that third eye, you'll be able to know, okay, is this the right path for me? Is this the right path? What is the shortest, quickest way to get the results that I want, right? But also making it something that can be long lasting. My intuition has peaked during my winter arc where I can see things more clearly. Like, it just makes it so much better. And I am noticing, for example, even in, my eating habits, I'm able to see, I'm able to focus. That's that feminine energy that we all need. Another thing that makes your glow up sustainable is the self-care, right? Are you giving yourself that self-care that you need? For me, with the fitness journey, I literally have to zone in and give myself that time to recover, to rest, to relax. I am going to the chiropractor. I will get a massage. I have to do different things, and it doesn't have to be anything expensive. It can be simply just going to sleep on time as a self-care practice. There are so many different things that you can do, but this is going to make you want to stay committed to your goals, right? When you get burnt out, because that's the masculine toxic masculine energy, is when you're always burnt out, you're running, you're hustle, hustle, hustle. You're not going to want to keep doing that. You're not going to want to make it long lasting, but that feminine energy will. I will also say slowing down. Slowing down is another part of the feminine energy that's going to make things better for you. Okay? That is going to propel you forward. Slow down. If even whenever you are habit stacking and you're listening to your affirmations, slow down with your drink. Slow down with your meal. If you're out for a walk, just take your time. Getting ready in the morning, take your time. When you slow down, it allows you to start going within. And that's the last part of the feminine piece, is when you are using that energy, going within will change your life. Going within is where you look and you see, who am I and who do I want to be? What do I need to heal? How do I move forward? You need to do these things, because what will happen is, if you're just so focused on the going, the doing, and not recognizing who you are being, you could be chasing goals that don't even align with you. You could be out in society just trying to please other people. And you wonder why you haven't grown up the way you want. You wonder why, when you start to reinvent yourself, why you aren't where you want to be. It is because you are not in divine alignment with your next level. Go within. This is going to show you the next step. That's where that intuition starts to peak. Okay? Do some deep, deep healing work. And as I've mentioned, shesworthy.org is my platform. You guys can check that out for resources. I'm also here on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. And I have so many videos, so many just different pieces that can help you go within. I'm also on Etsy with Money Honey Hive, and I want you guys to join any way that you can, so that you can really get the results that you want. So a few more things. I want to talk about why people even choose to have a winter arc. A winter arc, as I've mentioned, is just a chance to prepare you for that new year, but also it makes it exciting during this time of the year, because you'll see more seasonal depression. It's darker earlier. You just have all of these things that kind of make you want to stay inside, not really talk or go out or anything like that. And so that's the reason why this trend has taken place, and you can use it to your advantage. Again, whether you are watching this when we're already in 2025, or even if you are, catching it live with me right now, you can still use all of these steps. So I'm going to give you a couple things that I would encourage you to do during your winter arc. Number one, make sure you are taking a vitamin D supplement. You want to check in with your healthcare provider, of course, to see that that is safe for you. But vitamin D actually helps you with your mood. Sunshine is also very important as well. Go out, even if it's for a walk or you're just sitting outside, get some sunlight so that way you can improve your overall mood and the quality of your life. The next thing I would recommend is changing up your diet. Change up your diet. So for me, I have a high protein diet because I am really burning fat right now. So that is the most sustainable for me, and I can do that long term. I really love and enjoy that full feeling. And I've always been a healthy eater in general, but just doing this just really pushes me forward more. And then during this time, you want to also get into some of your passions. If there are passion projects that you have that you think are going to allow you to just have that happiness or that joy, do it. For me, it is doing these types of lives. I love painting. I love cleaning, cooking, just things like that. That really boost my mood, especially during a winter arc like this, where, a lot of people are seeing snow, they can't do certain things. This is going to help you be able to just feel really good overall. Now, the last thing that I want to share for you to do during this winter arc, you guys, I have given you all the tea, okay? I've given you a lot of things that you can do to be able to help yourself. So definitely take the time to digest all of this one step at a time, though, okay? Always remember that. I mentioned about the... Are we back? I hope so. Let's see. We're back. Okay. I think it blinked just a little bit, but I share this with the feminine aspect, but I want to make sure you all are aware of this: deep healing. You really need to do some deep healing during your winter arc. You cannot get around it. This is the perfect time. Few things to think about. What upper limits do you have? Is anything holding you back? Whether it's people, circumstances, situations, I really want you to think about what you might feel could be something that you keep hitting, right? Even people don't understand that upper limits is not about what is going wrong. It could also be about what is going right. So even if you have like a good life but you find yourself complaining or being down or not the happiest, it might be because you have upper limits of life being so good. So really sit with yourself and think about what that looks like. The next thing is inner child healing. Look what your inner child might need. Go back and think about, how you grew up and what life was like for you, and think about the depth of what that inner child needs. So do they need some quality time, a hug, whatever it is your inner child is craving, give that to yourself. And it is going to really make that relationship with your younger self much better, because whether we know it or not, our inner child is typically running the show if we're not aware of it. And so we have to take that into consideration and really make room for our inner child to be happy, because it's going to make us overall happy and the most successful. And I want to leave you guys with this thought. Your winter arc, this is glow up season. And I want you all to put your best foot forward in this glow up season. If you happen to need any support, again, you can go to shesworthy.org, and I will be more than happy to support you in your journey. I want you guys to stay with me on this because I'm also going to talk about my results from my winter arc, and I probably will have even more tips to give you in terms of things that worked or things that didn't work. And I'm excited. I'm happy that you all have joined me here live, or if you're listening in on the radio, TV station. Like, this is a great opportunity for us to connect, and I want us to keep moving forward. Thank you for being a part of the Money Goddess community. I love you all so much, and take care.